If you like storytime vibes, hit subscribe and let's dive in together.
Sir, we found a child alone in your car. The words sliced through the morning like a knife through glass. My hand went numb. The coffee mug slipped, shattering on the porch. A child? My car? I didn't even have kids. But when the officer turned the photo toward me, everything inside me froze. A little boy. Big brown eyes. Curly hair. He called you Daddy, the detective whispered. My heart stopped. That one word, Daddy, dragged me straight back into the wreckage of a life I thought I'd already escaped. It started with the sirens, not the loud, blaring kind from action movies, but the soft, eerie ones that make your stomach twist. 2 officers stood at my door, eyes sharp, hands ready. One rested on his belt. The other waited for me to speak. I couldn't. For a moment, it felt like the world had slipped off its axis. When I finally found my voice, it came out hollow. I don't have a child. Their confusion deepened, but before I could explain, cold steel clamped around my wrists. The cuffs bit into my skin, and I didn't resist. A small, battered part of me whispered that maybe this was karma catching up, some punishment for the chaos that had swallowed my life 2 years ago. Back then, everything I believed in burned quietly. No screaming, no broken glass, no movie-style drama. Just silence. And a phone left open on the kitchen counter. Her laughter filled the screen, but not with me. Messages, photos, his hands on her waist. Places I'd never been. Smiles that weren't mine. It hit me like a slow knife. I wasn't enough. Not smart enough. Not exciting enough. Not him. We were high school sweethearts. Everyone said we were the forever couple. I believed them. I held her hair when she was sick. Built furniture she never thanked me for. Worked overtime to fund her dreams while mine collected dust. I gave her every piece of me, like love was a charity project. And when I ran out of pieces, she simply found someone else to fill her empty spaces. The signs had been there. The phone suddenly face down. The perfume I didn't recognize. The way she touched me like she was clocking out of a job she hated. But I stayed. Because I thought love was about endurance. Because I needed her more than I needed myself. Then one day, I saw him. By accident. A man with a tattoo of a clock on his wrist. Time wasted. Ironic, right? That's exactly what my marriage had become. I didn't explode, I didn't scream, I just observed, and I started planning, quietly, strategically. I met with a lawyer, moved money, changed beneficiaries, canceled credit cards. I learned how to leave a marriage before I actually left it. The day I filed, she looked at me like I was the one who cheated. That look, shock, disgust, pity, cut deeper than any betrayal. She cried in front of friends, called me cold, heartless, cruel. But she never mentioned the man with the clock tattoo. When I walked out of that house for the last time, it wasn't anger I felt. It was relief. The kind that comes after surviving a storm that nearly drowned you. For 2 years, I rebuilt myself piece by piece. Therapy, new apartment, long walks, quiet dinners alone that didn't feel lonely anymore. I thought I had finally escaped her shadow, until those sirens brought her ghost right back to my doorstep. At the station, the young detective looked nervous. He placed a photo on the table. The boy couldn't have been more than 4. Big brown eyes, curly hair. "Do you recognize him?" he asked. I swallowed hard. "No." "He says your name is Daddy." Those words hit harder than any punch. For a second, I couldn't breathe. And then, memories surfaced. Her voice, her old documents, the last name she refused to change after the divorce. I realized the truth. She had a son after we split. Not mine by blood, but mine by name. She used my last name on his birth certificate, maybe to avoid questions, maybe to make herself look stable. And now her carelessness had dragged me into her mess again. The officers later found out what happened. She'd gone clubbing the night before. Left the boy in her boyfriend's car while she just ran inside for a minute. That minute turned into hours. The man panicked when the kid cried uncontrollably. In desperation, he drove to my old house, still listed under my name, and left the boy in my parked car. The police assumed he belonged to me. The child did too, because in his world I was Daddy. They eventually released me with apologies and embarrassment. But that night, sitting in my dark living room with a glass of whiskey, I couldn't shake the image of that boy's face. The innocence, the fear. I knew that feeling too well. I was once the child waiting for someone who never came back. So instead of walking away, I made a choice that shocked even me. I filed for emergency guardianship. She fought back hard, called me names, claimed I was trying to steal her son. But I came prepared. Reports, witness statements, even her arrest record from the night she abandoned him. In court, she showed up looking like a storm. Designer clothes, fake tears, dramatic sighs. I sat across from her calmly, my lawyer beside me. The judge read the evidence aloud, piece by piece, while she crumbled inch by inch. Her boyfriend, the man she risked everything for, never showed up. Her own mother sat behind her, silent. And when the gavel finally hit the bench, the judge granted me temporary custody. I didn't celebrate. I just breathed. For the first time in years, it felt like my lungs worked again. The first night the boy stayed with me, he barely spoke. He kept asking when Mommy would come back. I didn't have the heart to tell him that she probably wouldn't. So instead, I told him the truth I wished someone had told me when I was his age. You're safe now. You're home. Weeks turned into months. He started, calling me Dad again. But this time it meant something real. He laughed louder, slept through the night, drew pictures of us together, and every time he handed me one, I felt something inside me heal a little more. She tried reaching out sometimes. Not for him, never for him, but for me. Late-night texts. I miss us. Do you ever think about what we had? I didn't reply. That version of me, the man who begged for her attention, was gone, buried under everything she destroyed. Now I'm different, not bitter, not broken, just awake. I've learned that love without respect is a slow kind of poison, that forgiveness doesn't mean reconnection, and that sometimes walking away is the loudest form of strength. When people ask how I managed to take care of a child that isn't biologically mine, I tell them this: blood makes you related. But choice makes you family. And when she finally hit rock bottom, evicted, abandoned by the man she cheated with, she called again. Voice trembling, pride shattered. I made a mistake, she said. Can we talk? I listened. Then I said, calm and steady, you made many mistakes, but the biggest one was thinking I'd still be here when you were done. And I hung up. For once, I didn't feel guilty. I didn't feel vengeful either, just free. That night, I tucked the boy into bed. He looked up and said, "Good night, Dad. Love you?" And it hit me. That was the real victory. Not revenge, not proving her wrong, but breaking the cycle of pain she started. Because maybe, just maybe, the best revenge isn't making someone pay. It's becoming the person they can never hurt again.